Alright, got a second M12 draft here. Not looking at the best pack. Best card's probably Shock.
I think you want the one next to it.
The Gravedigger?
No.
Or the Angel's Mercy?
Yeah.
I mean, gaining 7 life is pretty cool and all, but
Completely negates a Lava Axe.
I think we're just going to go with Shock. There's no other really good red cards in the pack, so not sending a very bad signal.
This is an H4?
Yeah.
Do you think being in an H4 affects your draft choices?
Well, I mean, just always try and draft as best you can. There's World Slayer over here.
Dude, who's slowing up the game here?
Alright, second pick. Best cards in the pack are either Shock or Aether Adept. After pick one Shock, though, I think it's pretty easy to just take second one. Again, no really good red signals. Alright, a couple interesting picks here is Pacifism or Gideon's Avenger if we wanted to go into white. I don't really want to jump into a second color at this point, even though Pacifism is really, really good. Because there's so many white cards in the pack, you know, and the best cards probably are white, it's pretty likely that if you do take the Pacifism or the Avengers, someone's going to take the other one. So I think I'm just going to stick with the Crown of Empires here and try and stay open. We're not even really locked into red because we could like play green and just get Rampant Growths to splash the Shocks. What were you saying?
What about Chasm Drake?
It's okay. It's not better than Pacifism though, so I think even though I'm going to take a less powerful card, I'm going to take something that's still like pseudo removal.
You could have splashed Pacifism too, though.
Yeah, that's true. It's Rampant Growth.
Aether Adept.
Best cards in the pack are Aether Adept, Ring Flash, Bell Tower Sphinx, and maybe Warstorm Surge. I think the best card in the pack is probably Aether Adept, but I don't really want to jump into another color. And even though we don't have any creatures yet, Warstorm Surge is kind of a beating if you can get it down, so I'm happy enough to just take it and see where it goes.
Interesting.
This is a really late Shock, also a really late Azure Mage, but again, don't really want to hop into another color. Also considering that there's an Azure Mage and a Merfolk Looter, so whichever one you take, someone's going to take the other one. This Shock shouldn't still be here though, so I'll happily take it. Here, it looks like we're either going to have to jump into another color or take the Scepter of Empires. Problem with jumping into another color is that none of the cards really warrant it because, I mean, the best card in the pack's either, yeah, Merfolk Mesmerus or Harbor Serpent, maybe Stonehorn Dignitary.
Scepter's sweet for Bloodthirst.
Yeah, Scepter's pretty sweet for Bloodthirst, and Kenny wants me to assemble Voltron, so I'll just take it.
Voltron.
Alright, now the signals are really coming through. Skywonder Drake's probably the best card in the pack, or Peregrine Griffin. Peregrine Griffin being a 5-drop makes me not want to take it, and, you know, with all the burn that we have, I'd rather go pseudo-aggressive, and taking Skywonder Drake will be fine. Same thing here, not really that much in our pack. I'll take the Coral Merfolk because Stampeding Rhino's probably the best card, but don't want to hop into another color, and sometimes you just need a 2-drop. Here, everything's pretty bad. Could take the Amphion Cutthroat, but it doesn't really go well with the aggressive theme. I think I might just take an Elixir as a sideboard card to a mill deck, and every now and then if you get like looters and stuff, it can just randomly be good. Here, best card is probably the Stampeding Rhino. I think I'm just going to hate draft it, because that's the name of the site, bruh. Take a Mana Leak here, it's pretty good. Just a random removal spell, sort of, and cancels pretty, late game spells just as effectively as it does in the early game.
So you're going to be cut from blue and white in the second round, right?
Yeah, we passed a lot of good white, and some good blue with the Azure Mage and the late Merfolk Looter, but I'll take an Unsummon there. Unsummon's surprisingly good in this format with so many people trying to strap auras to things. I mean, if they put it on a Troll Hide, there's not really anything you can do, obviously, but if they put on anything else, then Unsummon's kind of blow out. Late Ice Cage. I mean, Ice Cage isn't really that great in this format, but there's less targeted abilities than there were before, so sometimes I'm happy to run it. This wasn't really a very good pack 1. Didn't really get any crazy bombs. Getting 3 Shocks is always good, but sometimes you'll just fight against decks that Shock is pretty blank against. Rune-Scarred Demon. Ugh, this is tough. There's no red removal spells. It's probably something I'd be looking to take. The best blue cards are, I don't know, Frost Breath, Ice Cage. Best card in the pack is either the Rune-Scarred Demon or the Timely Reinforcements, and I think the Rune-Scarred Demon may just be better than all of our black cards. Or so much better than all of the black cards that it's worth just taking. Or yeah, the blue cards.
Not to mention we saw 2 shades going at like 12th and 13th.
Yeah, that's true. And red, with the Scepter of Empires, the Bloodthirst mechanic works better with black than any other color, so I'll take it and gamble. Wow. Alright, this is not good. I can't even really tell you what the best card in this pack is. It's probably something like Rampant Growth, or maybe even the Griffin Rider. I don't know. I think the choice here is either between the Lightning Elemental, just because it's a creature. I mean, Lightning Elemental is typically not a very good creature in my opinion, but it does have 4 power, so it works with the Warstorm Surge. And I guess the haste makes it pseudo or semi-relevant sometimes. The other choice would be either Mind Rot or Distress, and I really think we'd actually just rather have a creature. Plus, we know we're playing red at this point, I think, and not probably committed to black or blue. Jeez, so much light green.
More shocks.
Yeah, I mean, the choice here is between Fourth Shock, a Gravedigger, or Ring Flesh. I think Shock is actually better than Ring Flesh, though. And, I mean, the best card's either Acidic Slime or Shock. So I'll just take the Shock. I mean, I've never been one to cry about having too much removal. This one's a little tougher. Chandra's Outrage is, you know, obviously the best removal. One of the better removal spells in the format. But I think we're going to take the Gorehorn Minotaurs here, because we are really light on creatures.
You can get creatures anytime.
Yeah, you can't get Gorehorn Minotaurs anytime. I mean, we have 4 Shocks already. Obviously, Chandra's Outrage kills things that are bigger, but we just need the dudes, and it's so good with Warstorm Surge if you can get it. And plus, there's another Shock right here, so let's take that.
Reverberate?
Reverberate's not really that great, even if you do have a bunch of Shocks. I think I'd rather just take Child of Night or the Blood Rage Vampire. I mean, the only thing that makes me not want to take them is that we're not necessarily committed to black, but I'd really rather play the black than the blue at this point. So I'll take the Child. Goblin Grenade with no goblins. Probably not going to be the pick.
Colossus?
Could be the Colossus. Also go with Warstorm Surge, and if we have all these removal spells, or those burn spells that can go to the face, you never know when those 7 damage is relevant. I'll take it. Not much in this pack. Don't really want to take the Harbor Serpent because it doesn't really fit the deck. I think I'll take the Goblin Tunneler because, again, we can get aggressive and it works pretty well with Child of Night. So, don't really want to take a second Tunneler, but I mean, again, I don't really want to take the black cards, seeing as we're not trying to commit to that. And if we can wheel like a Goblin Grenade or something, the Tunneler is just gonna be better. I'll just take the Distress, pretty good as a discard spell. Not really sure where we're going with this. Like, the Rune-Scarred Demon may have just been a pitfall. I think we have enough artifacts in this deck to actually warrant taking the Buried Ruin, because I don't want to play Fling, and Garrick's Companion is just in a color we're not even in. Alright, seeing these cards this late makes me think that it's going to be okay to just go ahead and hide the blue. We'll just take the Drifting Shades. Fine finisher. It doesn't really work very well with the Warstorm Surge, but I guess maybe you might be able to pump it and put it on the stack. We'll see. Take the Goblin Bang Chuckers here. Tonic Rift, probably not playing. Can't believe we have 5 Shocks already. So Pack 2 is okay. I think we really just want to pick up some more creatures in Pack 3 though. Alright, open up Pack 3. That's not really impressive. I've heard some pretty good things about Call of the Grave, but we have no zombies right now, and it's not really going to be that great. So I think I'm going to take the Outcast just because it fits with the Bloodthirst theme, and it's another dude that we need.
This card's
Wow. Alright, Sorin's Vengeance is one of my favorite cards in this format, and obviously if we can just get them pretty low with... I mean, this deck's not really that aggressive, but if we can get them low enough, then Sorin's Vengeance is just a win. Not really passing anything that great. Manic Vandal, Warpath Ghoul, and like to get this skeleton back maybe, but what can you do? Sworn's Vengeance just is. I mean, you get 7 mana and so often you'll just win. Alright, couple of options in this pack. Another Gorehorn Minotaurs, which may be the pick. Blood Ogre may be the pick just for curve purposes, because we don't really have any 3s right now, and it is so good. Onyx Mage is okay. The Death Touch can be relevant against certain things that you don't have outs to otherwise, and Tormented Soul is the other thing to consider just because it's the Bloodthirst enabler. I don't really like that we have some Bloodthirst guys that can't really be turned on very well right now, so that kind of makes me want to take the Tormented Soul, but it's so much worse. So I think it really comes down to Minotaurs or Blood Ogre, and just because we have so many 4s, even though I don't really want to play this Lightning Elemental, I think I'm just going to take the 3. Here, this Doomblade should not be here, not really anything else. Sucks that we have to pass Soren's Thirst. Deathmark's a good sideboard card, as is Combust, but Doomblade shouldn't be here. I'd like to get some more creatures, but I think, I don't know. I mean, Ringflesh, we have so many shocks, and I think that Ringflesh actually basically just serves the same kind of purpose as Shock, except that Ringflesh is better as a combat trick. We're lacking on 3s, and we're probably playing a lot of red, so I'll just take the Fiery Hellhound. Quicksilver Amulet's not really a good card in my opinion. I don't think that, paying 8 just to flash the first guy in is pretty worthless. I'll take the Duskhunter Bat. Even just playing it as a 1/1 means that it's going to enable the other Bloodthirst guys. Devouring Swarm's fine. It's another, it's a 3-drop that can turn on the 4-drop Bloodthirst guys too. Maybe we'll pick up some active Treasons or something. Here, I'll take the Duskhunter Bat again just as a Bloodthirst enabler. Fiery Hellhound's fine and all, but I'm just happy running 1. I mean, if we're playing Soren's Vengeance and a bunch of, burn spells and just trying to do as much to the opponent as possible, I think I'd rather have the Bloodseeker than the Goliath. Slaughter Cry is a fine combat trick. Dark Favor is okay if you have, like, Tormented Souls or Evasive guys to put it on. I guess we have Duskhunter Bats, but it sets yourself up for too much of a 2-for-1, so I'll just take Slaughter Cry. Probably not going to make the main deck, but... Alright, it's a pretty late Duskhunter Bat, and I'm pretty happy to take it here, so... World Slayer. It's ironic there's a guy named World Slayer in the draft that has a World Slayer, so can't let that happen. Foil Swamp, obviously the best card in the pack.
In what world can you play World Slayer? What would have to happen?
Honestly, I don't think I'd ever really play it in draft. Like, you're just resetting the board and you're left with a World Slayer that costs 5 to equip, so you don't really have anything to do with it.